Hello, gorgeous. We are back today, and today we're talking about spiritual meaning of not being able to gain weight. I did a video a couple of days ago that you guys absolutely loved and requested this part 2 of that video. So in case you missed the spiritual meaning of weight gain or not being able to lose weight, I will go ahead and link that in the description box and also pin it to the first comment. Okay, so now let's talk about what is the spiritual meaning behind you not being able to gain weight or keep weight on no matter what you eat or what you do, okay? So when we were talking about gaining excess weight and not being able to lose it, we talked all about feeling unsafe. We talked about holding on to trapped emotions, being in scarcity. And if you can really tap into that energy, a lot of that is about the root chakra, right? Your first dimension. And so when we talk about not being able to gain weight, we're going to move up to your second dimension, which used to be known as the sacral chakra, okay? And so with the sacral, it's all about how you digest information, how you digest food, and how you digest your environment, okay? So when we tap into the energy of why you're eating and yet you can't gain weight, the thing energetically that you need to focus on is parasitic behaviors, thoughts, patterns, and foods. So depending on what stage you're in, basic babe, self-aware Barbie, million dollar babe, or high-end divinity, it's manifesting in different ways, but the underlying theme is parasitic behavior, or if you're in the spiritual, like high-end divinity realm, actual like cosmic, like intergalactic parasites literally taking that nutrition from you. So let's talk about the 4 stages and what you can do in each of these stages. So if you are in the basic babe stage, the lowest stage, the one that has the most number of people on this planet right now, obviously this is shifting as there's more ascension and spiritual awakenings happening, but up until now, it's been most people are in the basic babe, basic boy stage. So if you are having trouble putting on weight, I want you to look at a few things. Number 1, how are you digesting your food? Okay, how are you digesting your thoughts? How are you digesting your feelings? And our feelings, our thoughts, and even our foods can create sort of a parasitic effect, meaning whatever you're eating feeds and leaches off of you and goes into these separate containers so that the nutrition actually never even makes it to your body, okay? And depending on what's happening spiritually and what stage you're in, this can manifest in a lot of different ways. Have you noticed that 2 people can be the same sort of weight, body percentage, height, these could be identical twins, and one can be skinny and look very healthy and radiant, right? Like that's the kind of look that we all want. We want that toned, fit, healthy, radiant, glowing look. And another person, her twin, let's say, could have the same structures and all of the same building blocks, so to speak, but she might be the same weight and look unhealthy, right? She might look sick. So there are different versions of this, right? If you are, by other people's standards, too skinny, but you look radiant, you look healthy, you are just glowing, okay? That may just be a societal thing because a lot of people in many nations are now overweight, especially in the first world nations. So in comparison, a lot of other people look too skinny. I know I went through this whole thing when I was in the self-aware Barbie thing, and I had lost 70 pounds, was literally in the best shape and feeling amazing about myself. A lot of people were like, you're too skinny, you need to eat a sandwich. It's no, you are carrying excess weight and so is everyone around you, and therefore thinking that I'm too skinny, but I'm actually healthy and radiant and vibrant and feeling my best, and my blood work was, is at its best. So sometimes it can be one of those things. So what you think is too skinny may just be one of those societal comparison thing. So here's what I want you to notice. When you look in the mirror, okay, tap into your energy. Are you in the energy of health? Is your skin glowing? Okay, without makeup, like none of that stuff. Look at your under eye circles, okay, or the darkness under your eyes. Do you have acne, on your face? What do you have like going on in your energy? Like, is your skin glowing, like just radiating everywhere on your body? How do you smell? Like, all of these little physical things can give us a snapshot of what's going on behind the scenes spiritually and energetically. So start focusing and noticing what kind of thoughts you think and how do you digest them. So two people can have what we would call a lower density thought, or like a negative thought, and digest it very differently. One person might be like, having a basic babe moment, and like nothing, it doesn't even register. And another person can take that and completely like go into this like downward spiral, okay? Well, that takes a lot of energy away from you. It takes nutrients away from you. That is a parasitic thought, okay? So start noticing when thoughts and feelings and even like things in your environment show up, and how do you react to them, okay? What goes on internally for you? The other thing I'm going to say, obviously this is a big duh, and I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist or any of that, but just know that you have to start eating foods that are found in nature, foods that are considered the proper human diet. So things that are made in a factory or a lab, and those are just gonna have to go. A lot of times what happens, I went through this and my daughter went through this as well, so I can really relate to this. So I, growing up, was one of those kids that was like too skinny according to everyone. I was just very thin, and no matter what I ate, I just didn't gain weight. And so, of course there was pressure sometimes when we would go to the doctor, to my parents, to like help me gain weight, and a lot of the feedback was just feed her anything. She can have Oreos and Twinkies and whatever. And as you can see, there's a big problem with that, right? Like there's some kind of a spiritually parasitic information being fed that's like leaching all of the nutrients of whatever I was eating anyways, and now we're just gonna add all of these like lab created, factory made food stuff on top of it that's actually not adding any more nutrients. And obviously that didn't help. That actually made me not be able to gain weight even more. Something similar happened to my daughter recently when she went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh my gosh, she's too skinny and she needs to gain weight. And she was like, just feed her anything. She can have candy, she can have ice cream. That is not the solution, okay? So when I heard this, it reminded me of what we had gone through, and I started doing some behind the scenes spiritual stuff on her, and instantly her appetite for healthier things started increasing, and then she started putting on a normal amount of weight. And again, I also had to remind her that the grid that they're using is often thrown off by a lot of children that are actually overweight, and that you are in fact perfect the way you are. So we need to remind our children of that as well, that some of the systems that they're even using to measure these things are thrown off, right, because of what's currently going on. If you are in the self-aware Barbie stage, again, it's parasitic behaviors and environments going on. What I want you to become extra cautious of is how you digest your environment, okay? And so there are people, places, things, objects, situations in your physical environment. So you want to do everything that the basic babe is doing, but we're adding a layer to that, okay? We want to give this information at the layer that people can digest it and actually use it, right? Solution focused as always, right? So with the self-aware Barbie, you want to do everything I talked about with the basic babe, and then you want to add on this layer of being extra cautious. Are there people that when you see them or you interact with them, they actually cause certain reactions in you that make you either work more, or you have digestive issues, eat certain kind of foods, crave certain kind of thoughts, or are they triggering a certain feeling in you where you literally can't digest that person's energy, and they're actually changing the scope of your environment. So in the Self-Aware Barbie, we want to make sure that we're doing all of the food stuff and all of that, the thoughts and all of that, but also slowing down enough. Remember, the basic babies often is in fight or flight. Slowing down and saying, hey, how am I digesting my coworkers? How am I digesting my partner? How am I digesting the city that I live in? How am I digesting the, furniture that I have, the environment that I live in? Because if sometimes these things can create this parasitic effect where all of the things that you are consuming is actually going to them, and there's nothing literally left over for you. Okay, and so this will show up and manifest as overgiving, as pouring into other people's cups before pouring into yours. Remember that we always want to give from our overflow, not from our depletion. Okay, with the $1 Million Babe, what I want you to now focus on is that things that you are actually pouring your life force energy into, are they creating a parasitic effect in your life? So if you are a $1 Million Babe and having trouble keeping fat you don't look healthy or feel healthy, or you feel like you can't get to the body weight that you want to get, then it could be your job. Okay, it could be your core belief systems, it could be your religion, it could be things that are sort of like the bigger umbrellas in our life that we pour a lot of our energy into. But if they're not aligned to what actually our soul's grid is, our God grid pattern, then they can actually create that parasitic effect where they're taking so much from you that there's nothing left for you to nourish and really embody anything with. And that embodiment goes with like actual embodiment of physical space. So for you, look at those bigger things that take up bigger chunks of your consciousness, and bigger chunks, and relationships is a big one too, like close relationships, like a nasty situation going on with like a parent or a lover. Like those close bonds can often be very parasitic in nature, and they might have this kind of like an Akashic thing running behind the scenes. Now, if you're interested in learning more about this, I have just secretly announced it. This is the first time I'm announcing it publicly, the cart and enrollment for my Chords and Contracts 6-month group coaching. Right now, I've just invited my VIP clients from some of my high-end divinity courses, and I've also invited my email list as of today. This is your invitation. This is going to be a 6-month group coaching container. It's called Chord and Contracts, and we will be working in all of our dimensions. We'll be working in our Akasha and really going to the root cause of these problems from a multi-dimensional layer. So if you are in the $1 Million Babe or high-end divinity, this group container is for you. It is a first come first serve kind of thing, because I want to keep it really, really intimate. And you're going to have a Facebook group. It's going to be fabulous. It's my high-end divinity group coaching container. So that link is in the description box, and also in the pinned in the comments. For those of you guys that are the university bundle, this is a group coaching, so it's not included, but it's highly discounted for you. So email my team at theuniverseguru@gmail.com, and they'll let you know that code for the university bundle students. Okay, so if you are in the high-end divinity realm and you are having trouble keeping weight on your body, if you're having trouble gaining weight, and if no matter how healthy you eat, you just are missing that glow and you don't feel healthy, or you might have periods where you're really, really healthy, and then periods where your energy just goes down and tanks, and it's like unexplained because you're doing everything right. You're eating all the healthy foods, you're exercising, like you're doing all the things, and yet it's not working. Now we have to look at this in deeper intergalactic ways. So you might be a starseed, a healer, a light worker. Like, I know there's different terms that people associate with, but you're here on a very important mission. And because of that, there might be forces beyond just what we know here on earth that are literally leeching energy off of you. They're trying to throw you off your grid so you do not succeed with the work that has been assigned to you. And because of that, you might be able to overcome it at certain times when you're really in high vibration, you're really doing all of your spiritual work, you're saying your invocations, you're doing your rituals, like you're in God's field and you're doing all the things and you're good, and then you notice that something happens and it just throws you off kilter. You have this cycle of like up and down, up and down. There might be intergalactic parasites that are literally leeching energy off of you. And so in that, we again need to go into that deeper inner work within the cords and contracts and what you have going on and who might be throwing you off. There might be a walk-in soul that's still kind of attached to you, and you like there might be like multiple souls in your body. There might be entities from previous lifetimes that have attached themselves to you for whatever reason that happened in that previous lifetime, and because of that, when you're eating, you're actually feeding them before the nutrition again even makes it to you, or they're literally just plugged into you and just taking everything that you have. So because of that reason, again, that deeper inner work will be needed to make sure that you're looking at it from all of these multidimensional places. I don't have any other more concrete advice for you because you're already doing everything right. Like, you're like, Mina, I swear I'm eating right. Like I'm doing all the things, right? Because this is not your like fault. It's not like you're creating drama. It's not like you're eating junk food. It's not anything that you're doing. We have to attack this from a completely different perspective than for the other stages. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this a thumbs up and let me know if this is something that you are dealing with, or maybe you have a friend or a family member that's dealing with this, or maybe you dealt with it in your past. So let me know if this resonates with you, and I will see you in Cords and Contracts. That link is in the description box. If you're on my email list, you got that invitation. If you didn't get it and you are on my email list, there might be two things going on. One, there was this old email list that we used to have that some people accidentally find and sign up for. So if you've never been receiving emails from me, you might be on the wrong list. But the other reason might be because sometimes the emails can go in the promotional or the spam folder and you never see it. So make sure that you check your spam, promotional, and then add us to whatever your like safe list is so that you get to continue receiving those emails from me. I love you. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.